Hello everyone, Auvbri here and welcome back to another speed building in Sims 4. So this time we are gonna build a huge build, like really massive. This is probably one of the biggest builds I have ever done. I actually think it's bigger than my chateau build, which I built last year, so it's definitely a really huge build. But yeah, the title of this build is the Miami Beach Apartments. And I have never actually been to Miami, but I have seen a lot of shows based on Miami and stuff like that. And I was really inspired by all of the modern builds that was or are in Miami, and I thought that, you know what, that could be a really cool idea to actually do that. So this house, whatever you want to call it, this apartment build has 4 apartments. It has one big huge apartment, and the reason for that is I kind of imagined that the person who actually had like one of the apartments bought out the other apartment, so she or he could actually expand his or hers apartment to all of the downstairs or upstairs apartments. And that's kind of what I did. But yeah, here on the right side here we have the 3 single apartments, and as you can see, lots of skylights in this build as well. It's really modern build, and I tried to keep it super modern but also kind of have like the vibe of the Miami in mind. So here we're working on the left side of the build. A lot of balconies and like little patios all over the place, just to kind of fill out the space, and it looks pretty awesome in the end as well with all of these floating balconies. So we have one big balcony at the top there, on the left side as well, and some side balconies. So in the middle here I decided, you know what, it could be really cool if we had like this big open atrium, I do believe it's called, like with glass sides on either end of this build, and just kind of have like this pretty cool atrium. I'm pretty sure it's called atrium, but yeah, have like this pretty cool atrium that kind of connects all the apartments. If I had elevators, that would be even better, but we don't. So I just kind of made it like super modern and tied it all in with some staircases and stuff like that. It looks pretty awesome in the end, and I'm overall really happy about how this build turned out. And I do actually believe that once I uploaded it to the gallery, it didn't actually take that long of a time for it to get downloaded pretty fast by a lot of people. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, talking about the gallery, EA cannot get my website, my browser gallery link to actually work. They don't know why it doesn't work. So if you want to find my stuff, you actually have to open the gallery inside of the game and search my, what is it called, EA ID now, Origin ID, which is Auvbri, and you should be able to find me. I don't know why you cannot find me otherwise, but it's just one of those things, and they don't know how to fix it. So that's pretty annoying. But yeah, it's just in-game search my Origin/EA ID, and you should be able to find me. It's Auvbri, simple as that, and you should be able to find me. So here we're just working on the front here. As you walk into the building, where we kind of have all of the apartment front doors as well. And I thought, you know what, it could be freaking awesome if we had like this little fountain in here. I try to work a lot with plants and just kind of stuff I find really modern-esque when I build, and I just thought, you know what, a fountain right when you walk in, that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, I just got a bit distracted there. There was somebody posting a comment on one of my videos, and it just Just my phone went a little crazy. But yeah, just a little fountain here right as you walk in with some plants around it just to make it look really good. I just kind of, went back into the live mode to actually see how that looked when it was actually functioning, and it looked pretty cool. And this being a modern build, we of course have a lot of big glass windows out here. So one thing, I don't actually have to these like little side balconies that actually stick out. There's no doors out to that. That's purely for the looks of it, the aesthetics, whatever you want to call it. You can put a door out there. I just didn't do that. But you definitely can put a door to the outside of those smaller balconies. For the living room or for the apartments that don't actually have a balcony. So as you can see, the two apartments at the top is not that big, but they have like this huge open area space with a garden and stuff like that. But the other don't actually have like anything else than the balconies, and you can definitely open up those if you want to. I just didn't do that just because I didn't think it needed it. And one of the reasons why is just because I actually built a garden in the backyard, like a public garden for the attendance of this apartment build, and I just thought, what, that should be good enough. So yeah, as I said in the beginning of this build, the left side of this build is just kind of like one big apartment. So it still has like all of the traditional front doors out to the atrium, where the old apartments used to be. But I kind of, as I said before, imagined that it would be like, maybe a rich person moved in one of them and wanted to expand and just kind of bought out the other apartments and just expanded like that. So, yeah, we have one big apartment on the left side, and on the right side we have 3 smaller apartments. And I actually love, I don't know why, I love the big apartment a lot. I think it's a cool idea, and it's actually only 1 bedroom in that apartment. So you can kind of see that she or he is like a rich person, maybe a single bachelor, who actually just wants to live life and have a lot of money to spend, and just wanted to expand like crazy, have big rooms and stuff like that. But when you actually go over to the other side of the build, other to these smaller apartments, they are kind of more studio apartment inspired. So it's like an open area with kitchen and bedroom in the same room. And I actually lived at a studio apartment right when I moved out from home, and it's not that bad. I actually love doing that. I of course have a bigger apartment now. But yeah, it's not that bad to actually live in a studio apartment like that. So just keep that in mind as you actually, play with this lot. And of course, you can just like have a bunch of different families living here. That's also a possibility. And I actually did think at one point that it could be a really fun thing to actually play around with this house in a Let's Play. But, I'm just not that good at playing with that many sim. And yeah, as you can probably see from the timestamp on this video, it's almost 28 minutes long. That's just because it actually took me so much time to actually build this house. Like 4 hours or something. And that's spread over like a couple of days, just because I actually have work still, and I have a lot of things on my plate at the moment. But yeah, I tried to build it as fast as possible, and this is actually 3 clips that is actually recorded at different times. just kind of put together. You can actually see the where the actually next clip starts. You can't see that well if you don't know it, and I think that's a good idea or good thing. But yeah, the big apartment, the one big apartment here, we're working on the bedroom. And keep in mind, when I initially drew this out, I just kind of had like 6 smaller apartments in mind, because I do believe that 6 or 8 is the maximum amount of sim you can have in one household, because you know there's not actually working apartments, but I had like 6 apartments in mind, and that's kind of why it has like this front door out to the atrium in the middle, because I didn't want to actually erase that. That kind of debunked the whole purpose of having the atrium in the middle, and I thought it was a cool idea just to kind of keep something from the old apartments before they were actually renovated into one big apartment. And yeah, that's what I did. So yeah, we have the bedroom upstairs, and in the middle here we have like a living room and a little study area. And I kind of tried to keep with some red colors in this apartment build, to kind of match the outside. The outside is red and this stonish color, and of course the wooden colors as well outside. And I've just thought that worked really, really well. So I kind of carried all of that into this big apartment build, and you will see that when we actually go over to the other 3 apartments, that there is a lot of variety for those who wish to play in a different apartment, and there is a lot of diversity in what the apartments are actually used for, and you'll see that later. But yeah, just the living room here, and just I love the paintings. Like the painting from the Dine Out game pack is freaking amazing. Everything in that pack is just beautiful, and I haven't actually been able to play around with that pack yet, so I'm actually looking really forward to that. My vacation actually starts next week, and I have a 2-week vacation, and I think I'm gonna play a lot of Sims and other games. Just relax. I have had a really hectic summer at work, and I cannot wait to actually sit down and play the Dine Out game pack. It just looks freaking amazing to me. But yeah, again, we have like this little front door entrance into the living room, just to again keep in mind that this was actually a separate apartment at one time. And downstairs here, another bathroom, just because it's kind of annoying that you would have to go upstairs all the time, up to the bedroom to go to the bathroom every single time. So I just thought that was a neat idea. And excuse me, the kind of little dining room area here. So we actually have 2 dining room areas down here. We have like this more fancy one with the raised up chairs and table, and I love that. That's a pretty cool idea as well. And then we have like this little corner booth that I also thought was a cool idea, kind of more relaxed and kind of fitting with the kitchen that we're working on right now. And again, as you can see, I use a lot of red in this apartment. I don't know why and what it is with red. That color actually just speaks to me. Especially this kind of red. I just think like this a little darker red looks so freaking awesome, and it just kind of works with everything. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on. But it just kind of works with everything, and I just decided to keep on the theme of this big apartment, and the other 3 apartments will not have any red in it whatsoever. So yeah, keep that in mind if you're not keen on the red interior of this big apartment, there is 3 other smaller apartments that you can actually just go with, and everything is fully functional. I've tested everything out, and everything should be working perfectly. So here we just kind of have the main entrance, as I would like to call it, where you're actually supposed to go into the apartment. So this is kind of, in my mind, this would be the original apartment, and then the sim or person, whatever you want to call it, has just kind of expanded upwards and kind of turned that into one big apartment. So this is actually at the point where I didn't want to build anymore, but I kind of wanted to do some landscaping and kind of work on the outside. And I just kind of did that. I tried to create like a sidewalk street. I haven't actually been to Miami before, so I have no idea what it looks like on the sidewalks of Miami. But I just kind of tried to imitate what I kind of thought it would look like. So it shows a lot of palm trees and a lot of exotic looking plants like ferns and stuff like that. And here I just kind of created a little outdoor space for all of the trash cans. I know we have that here where I live, and I can just kind of imagine that they would be there as well. And just working on, like, I don't know, this kind of untamed plant wilderness thingy. I just thought that was a cool idea, and I just kind of worked with it. And some light posts with some banners on it, just to kind of mix everything up. And I'm in love with how this build turned out. It's definitely one of my better builds, and I'm really proud about how it turned out. It took a long time, but I can see myself, and hopefully you guys can also see that I actually spent a lot of time working on this. And we're now in the video where I actually came back to the build, and at this point I wasn't feeling like building inside again and furnishing, so I just kind of continued doing the exterior and doing some landscaping. And I just decided, you know what, let's make a cool backyard here for all of the tenants of this apartment build. And a pool is definitely very Miami-like in my head, because it's also such a tropical city, and it's very hot. And I just thought, that's just perfect. A pool outside is freaking awesome, and it just works with what I want to do here. And so we have a pool in the backyard, but we also have like this little seating area for at night, where there's kind of like a bonfire, and this beautiful tree from the, I guess it's movie stuff pack. I can't actually remember where it's from, but this tree with all of the lights hanging down from it, really cool tree. And I just kind of made that work. So I put a bonfire underneath that, and I put some chairs all around it. And it looks really, really relaxing and just nice. It's just a place that you would want to sit a summer day and kind of enjoy with your friends or upstairs neighbors, whatever. And then just kind of little seating area there just to kind of fill that space. And then I was just like, you know what, I have to actually furnish this atrium. It doesn't have to be like anything huge or spectacular, but it has to look modern and managed, and kind of like, like really modern, and like it actually fits in with the place. So I just decided to do this little waterfall upstairs here. And of course put in some seating areas as well, because I don't know why there's always just chairs and stuff like that all around places like this, where you can sit like benches and couches and stuff like that. And downstairs here, I didn't actually have an idea what to do, and I just thought, you know what, let's just throw in a bar for all of the tenants in this building. I thought that could be a cool idea, and that's what I did, and it's actually turned out pretty amazing. It actually fits in with the vibe that I was going for, and it kind of just works for me. It's modern still and keeps with the vibe of the build, and I just like that it's like in the back, so if people wanted to sit down after hard work, you can't say that, after hard days of work, they could kind of do that inside of their own building, and I thought that was a cool idea. So here we're working on the smaller studio apartments, and this was actually the original idea for every single apartment in this build before I decided to just build one of them as one big apartment. But the two of them is laid out exactly the same, but all of the furniture and coloring is different. So this is kind of like a guy's apartment. I tried to keep it very minimalistic, but also keeping that modern style in mind, and I wanted to not create like an apartment where you know, like a teenage kid would live, but I wanted to create a studio apartment where like maybe like I don't know, maybe like a guy's in his early 20s would live with, you know, alone, but have like all of these cool stuff and things all around, and just kind of keep like a modern tone to it. So not a big TV, just a little couch there. As you can see, not that much space, but everything in here is fully functional, everything works, and I kind of like the idea of not having that big of a space and having like this little compact apartment. So here we work on the next studio apartment, and as you can see, exactly the same layout. The bathroom is exactly the same as well, just because that was actually the only way I could get it to function fully, and get as much space out of it, because it's only like 6 squares of a bathroom, and that's not a lot. So yeah, kitchen also the same, but slightly different, you know. I tried to keep this a kind of girly apartment, and using a lot of purples and pinks in here, as well as a lot of paintings and just like little stuff all around to kind of, you know, mix it up and make it look pretty. Oh yeah. I definitely also like this. Even though purple is not my color, I think this turned out pretty cool as well, and you can kind of see that this is a girl's apartment. So upstairs here, just working on the outside little garden area that this person is gonna have, and this apartment is a pretty awesome idea as well. So I thought, you know what? This little apartment, who would benefit from that? And I just thought to myself, maybe like a painter who kind of wants to be alone but have like this amazing view of everything, so he can paint like some amazing stuff. And I just thought, you know, a little studio apartment, the smallest one, would not matter to this person, because it's just like, I don't need that much space. I'm a painter. Just give me a kitchen, a bathroom, and a place to sleep, and I'm happy. So I actually put in, as you can see, I'm working with yellow colors here, just because that actually worked for me, and with the skylight as well. But very compact little apartment, and I love how this turned out. So compact and so cute. But yeah, I put in a lot of easels around the place upstairs here. So there's 3 easels in total, and just, you know, all of this painter stuff, and just to kind of make it look really awesome and, you know, small, but also like really roomy. And here we have all of the pictures, starting with the atrium, of course, as you can see from the one side here. And again, I love the idea of having like this huge glass window front and back, so there's all of this natural light brought into the atrium here. And here we have just like the bar area, and you can kind of see every single layer of the atrium. Here we have the big apartment with the bedroom, looking really good. And again, this big apartment is really spacious, so if you wanted to, you could definitely put in 2 bedrooms in this build. I didn't do that just because I wanted to keep it really spacious and kind of have all of this open space, just because as I said before, I imagined it being like a single person who wanted to have a lot of space and wanted to kind of show off a bit. So that's why I made every single floor into its own particular room. Just the downstairs here, as we jump into the guy's apartment. This guy's studio apartment. I'm actually also really happy about how this turned out. I don't know why, but there's just something for me about having like this small space and just filling it up with stuff that just makes it seem a bit more homey to me. The girl's apartment, again, same layout, different furniture, and I think it's amazing how different you can get the same space to actually look with furniture. At least that's amazing to me. But anyways, yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave me a big like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. When you subscribe, you actually get a notification or mail or whatever every time I upload a new video. So definitely do that if you want to stay tuned to all of my newest content. I will be uploading more often in the following weeks to come. So yeah, definitely subscribe to me if you haven't already done that. And just, you guys are awesome. We have almost at 5,000 subscribers now, which is freaking amazing. Thank you so much for that. But yeah, anyways, there's nothing else for me to say. You can find this in the gallery, and just have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time for another video. Bye!